Hello, everyone. You know what time it is? Happy hour with the Hambrights. How are you?
Hey.
How are you doing?
Good. Ready to go. Ready to talk about all the wonderful things in
Yes,
real estate.
ma'am.
Yes. So, okay, for those who, I mean, y'all are famous around town, but for those who may not, well, for those who may not know you, for like the two people who don't, let's go ahead and start off with the introductions and what y'all do.
Absolutely. So we're Stefan and Ashley Hambright, and we're the Hambright team. Yeah.
We love it. Bring in the energy. We love it.
We're realtors with Coldwell Banker Legacy.
Yeah. So, okay, y'all have really been walking us through the home buying process. So just to kind of recap, let's tell everybody what we've talked about so they can go back and watch the previous episodes. And then we'll get into what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
So up until now, we've been caught up on how to get approved for a home. We talked to a lender. We actually had Jennifer Gentry with Legacy Lending here. And she kind of gave us some tidbits on that. And then it was how to, get ready to find your perfect for. What do we need to find? Kind of how to get that process started. So now today what we're going to do is we're going to say, okay, you have a house under contract. Now what? Now we're going to talk to you because there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realize. So we kind of just want to give them like a little insight to that.
Yeah, that'd be great because I had no idea. I saw your list right here, and there's a lot. Like you said,
and
there's
this
a lot
isn't
that
even really all of them. These are just like the really high.
The heavy hitters.
There's a lot of support behind the support, but the big thing is just remember there is a team of people that have your back when you're buying or selling a home. This one's focusing on buying, but selling also.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just dive into it.
Okay.
All right.
For sure. So let's start with the inspector because a lot of people kind of know that you got to get your house inspected. So let's talk about that.
Well, and that's usually the first thing that happens once you go under contract.
Yeah.
Your inspector's going to go out and kind of feel it out.
So what the inspector's going to do, they're going to go through to the property and make note of any damages, any maintenance issues that needs to be done on the property. They're going to be there for like 2 to 3 hours. They're going to look at every single nook and cranny of that property.
They're going to find something if there's something to find.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Except for the stuff inside the walls, we haven't developed the X-ray vision for them yet. We're working on it, but we're not quite there.
So what they'll do is they'll provide a report. So they actually work for the buyer, right?
Okay.
So they work for the buyer. They'll provide an inspector's report. And then what you'll do is review that with your real estate agent and see if there's anything that you would like to ask the seller for them to either fix, repair, or take care of within your option period.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much the first step. Whenever you get under contract, next step, let's get it inspected.
And the biggest thing to remember with the inspection part of it is really not a pass or a fail necessarily. Obviously, obviously there's huge things on it that's bad. Yeah. But it doesn't affect the actual deal itself. That's a negotiation with the seller. The inspections are to give you as much information as possible and about the property if you're buying.
Purchase with confidence.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, right?
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. Yeah. So you kind of know what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because
Wonderful.
we're not roofers, we're not plumbers, we're not electricians. We're not going to know these things. That's why we hire somebody like the inspector. Yeah. and they'll provide that report, and it really does show you all the stuff on the house where you can kind of go from there. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So going from there, then what's next?
So, there's probably going to be some lapse in time between certain things, but somebody else that's going to be supporting you is your appraiser through your loan process.
Okay.
So an appraiser goes out and they actually inspect the property, not nearly as intensively as the inspector does, but they'll look at it depending on your loan type, and they'll look at the value, they'll run comparable properties that have sold, make sure value's on point, all of that also to make sure you're getting a good value. Because market pricing and market value can fluctuate. So the pricing that we can come up with, we're not appraisers, may be different than your appraiser. Right. And that's also just another person supporting you in that process.
Yeah. Wow. Like you said, it's really a team trying to work for, get everything.
And having people that know how to work through things. If there is something that comes up, again, your loan officer, your realtor will work together, and just having those people who know how to read that appraisal report, that having that experience. With navigating that part of it.
Yeah, because I'm sure that can be a little bit difficult.
Sometimes.
But
again, that's why you have us.
Exactly.
That's why we're here.
Exactly. And
you're never alone. Got a full team.
I was about to say, y'all do have a full team right here. So, okay, we are inspected, we're appraised.
Survey.
Survey.
Okay.
Okay.
So if it's needed, a survey will go to the property, and what they're basically going to do is provide a survey that indicates the location of improvements and also that's relative to the boundaries of the property. So the way to kind of think of it is get a giant ladder on your property, and then you're looking down, and so you can kind of like picture the boundaries, whether it's a rectangle or if it's whatever it is of the boundaries of your home, and then the house. And then you have a barn, storage shed, all that stuff that'll actually be on the survey.
Okay.
And so
Any
you can
physical improvement that changes the footprint of the property.
Yes.
So anything that's staying on skids, it's not permanent.
Yeah.
It can be removed, like a shed or something. Sometimes put on the block. That's not considered permanent.
Okay.
So you do have the ones that have like a swimming pool that have been added, or you've extended out your patio for that pretty cool out kitchen you wanted. Things like that will affect it.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
And then at closing, you'll actually get that survey. So it's yours to keep, where you could see like, hey, this is where my property is, and then where my house is relative to that. So it's really nice when you're doing fences, stuff like that. You'll know exactly where you need to put it.
Right,
so that's very important.
Yeah, I was about to say, because that can get kind of tricky, I'm sure, you know, if you kind of share that property
your
line.
neighbors won't like it if you build on their side.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
That's not a good way to make friends.
No, not recommended. Not recommended.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, that's awesome. Okay, so the survey, I'm glad you kind of pointed that out. So if we could just go over that again, the permanent things on there versus not.
So just something that, like a house is permanent.
Yeah.
Things that you can think about that basically have concrete attachment for the most part.
Rule of thumb, pretty much. Yeah.
Just if it's stuck there.
Yeah.
You know, if you could take the land and flip it over and shake it off, it's going to fall off. It probably will.
That is a great analogy. Okay, I'm going to use that from now on.
Works for the inside houses too.
There you go. Yes. Perfect. Okay, I love it. So now what?
So then another person that's also working in the background while all this other is going on is your insurance. So you're actually going to get quotes from insurance companies. Your lender, again, can help you with this because they're obviously going to need to make sure you're staying your budget, making sure you're staying with your debt to income ratios, whatever it is, whatever numbers we're working around to make sure you're comfortable. And they're going to work with that person. So they will be, your insurance agent will be working to make sure you have a policy you're comfortable with. They'll be working through and make sure the insurable, all of that, so that by the time you get to closing, you'll have your policy in place. Because if you have a loan, you have to have insurance. Even if you pay cash, I always tell people, probably not a bad idea to have it. Let's face it, we have hailstorms, life happens, there's nothing you can do, and God starts throwing rocks at you. So it's not a bad idea to have it no matter how you pay for your house.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, I'm glad you said that again, because you said if you have a loan, then you have to have insurance.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Good to know. Good
they want to make sure that they're going to have their, basically your home is collateral for that loan.
Right.
And so they want to make sure that it's in good condition. And
and it's protected. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, protected.
Yeah,
100%.
Because like you said, sometimes those hailstorms, they just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do. You just say, okay,
you're just like, all
right.
Roof. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, imagine like that big one we had a few years ago, and you didn't have insurance on your home, and then your roof is destroyed. Well, that's not a really good feeling. Yeah, 100%.
Golly, and sometimes they can take a while to fix too. So you need that.
Everybody gets so busy when that happens.
Yes.
I mean, there's only so many people. But it helps to have that protection. And so again, having an insurance agent comfortable with too, because you can ask them questions. That's why they're there, just for you, and make sure that you have the answers, you have the coverage, because you may have things inside your home that need extra coverage. I mean, stuff we're not getting into integration because that's outside of our system.
Right.
So, just having that conversation with somebody.
Yes. Bring all the questions.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody in this list loves questions.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So we are insured. Now what?
Okay. So let's talk about basically the home base. And that is the title company, right? So they're going to be the place where, as soon as we go under contract, your real estate agent is going to send the executed contract to the title company.
Okay.
And so what they're going to do is provide a closing time. And so whatever time that works for the closing day, we'll let the buyer and seller know. That's when you show up to sign the papers and everything.
But in the meantime, they're also going to be working through your contract, through all the documents.
Yeah. And so they'll do a title search. And so on that title search, it will show if there's any liens on the property or the buyer or seller that needs to be rectified before we can close.
And it can be a variety of reasons. It's not even just liens. I mean, there's stuff that pops up because, again, people have lives and things can come up. So they address those, and then they work with the party needs to keep up so they can.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when and this is kind of cool because we're at the end of the finish line right here. We got it. So closing day, you show up to the actual title company.
Okay.
So we actually show up to all of our closings. We'll actually be there with you, and then we sign all the documents, and then finally,
They do.
Yeah, they do. They sign all the documents.
We just observe.
Yeah, we observe. Make sure everything is right, and then they get their keys. And then, congratulations, you're a homeowner. You did it. And it goes right down the process. You're done.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this, it can seem overwhelming because we may not realize how much goes into it. But like you said, I'm glad you pointed out that it's a team working for the buyer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of this stuff, the title companies also process this for the seller side.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously the seller is wanting to do, so they'll work with their mortgage company to make sure they have the information to help them get paid off through the fund. And there's, again, so much happening. It's like a bunch of little work all this process that a lot of people don't realize that they're there to help everybody achieve that goal of getting it bought or
Yeah. Wow.
And then we make sure everything is going smoothly in the meantime, just making sure that everybody is getting their stuff done on time, because we do there's a time constraint to all of this. It's not an indefinite time. Oh, just whenever you get to it. No.
I was about to bring that up because, looking at this, oh my goodness, does it take 6 months? Does it take a year? Give us kind of an idea of those time frames.
Depending on what type of financing.
Yeah.
So you're looking at about 30 to 45 days. Sometimes a little bit longer, just depending on circumstances, sometimes shorter.
Yeah.
From when you go under contract to all the way, everything that we just talked about, that you're at the title company and you're signing the document. So on average, you're going to be right around there.
Okay. And that may seem like a long time, but I'm sure it goes really fast.
No.
It does,
happening, you feel like it's an eternity, then you look back, you're like, oh wait, that was only a month and a half.
Yeah.
So it's okay. It feels like it when it's happening.
Yeah.
But no. And that's why we keep in contact, make sure that they know where they are in the process. There are some times where there's really not much going on as far as like our side's concerned. It's a lot of the background stuff that we really can't do. I'm not an attorney. I'm not going to be looking for title search. There's things we're not going to be doing, but we'll just kind of keep everybody in the loop as far as, okay, we're still waiting on appraisal, or we're waiting for the title work, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's at least something. Kind of know where you are.
Exactly. Keeping everything on track.
100%. Yeah.
Wonderful. So what, I guess, advice, because, somebody's hearing this right now and they're like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. What advice do you have for them about just taking it, as it comes?
Call us.
Yeah.
Just ask
and we take care of it from there. Yeah.
But again, that's just because this is stuff that people, it might seem a little intimidating. Oh crap, do I have to call a surveyor myself? No. Not you. We have people that we contact pretty much everything. I think we've mentioned it in another segment where we pretty much have a guy for everything.
Yes. Yes. They are the guys that know the other guys to
get all of it.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and that's just, again, the streamlining to make it as easy as possible. Nothing's perfect, but we try to do our best to make sure it goes as
well. And that's what Ashley was saying. Like what we said in a previous segment, make it stress-free. As much as possible, make it stress-free, and try to make it a little fun, right?
The only thing we don't do is help you move.
Yeah.
Hey,
we got a number for moving companies, so again, we got all the numbers, so we can definitely forward you that number, 100%.
Awesome. Yeah. I would love to see y'all just like, you could start a moving company too.
We moved the next house I'm buying is going to be fully furnished. We're selling ours fully furnished.
Right.
I'm just not gonna,
we just show up,
Yes. Oh, well, I love it. I got so excited about talking about this stuff. I forgot to ask about the current market, the current housing market. What does that look like?
Oh, it's still busy, which is really good. We've actually seen inventory come up, which is good. We talked about eventually things are going to start leveling out. The inventory has to come up with interest rates going up. That's going to start kind of limiting people's buying power a little bit. Now, obviously, you can still qualify for loans. It's not that you can't qualify by any means. Interest rates are a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So what that means is we're seeing an increase in those listings because they're staying on the market a little bit longer.
Okay.
People are still listing, which is what we need. We need houses to sell people.
Right.
So our median price last month was $235,000, which is actually up year over year 60%. So we're still seeing the increase.
Yeah.
We're still seeing that. Active listings. Now, this is going to sound a little funny when I say it, because we know historical lows for inventory the past 2 years. So year over year, listings this month were up 68%. Don't freak out.
Yeah.
Don't freak out. Don't freak out.
That is not bad.
Yeah.
That just says we had like no houses to sell last year, and now we actually have.
Well, more selection as a buyer, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
So we're actually up as far as months of inventory. We're actually came up over 1 month of inventory for the first time in quite some time.
I can't even remember last time we've been over a month. Yeah.
So which is good.
Yeah.
Again, it's just making it so buyers have a little bit more selection. Sellers are having that, the buyers still come. It's leveling. It's good. It's a good thing.
Yes.
We need that supply and demand to kind of catch up to each other.
Yeah, I was about to say, because it was kind of off balance, I guess, is really how to explain it.
But, that's okay. I mean, the markets correct themselves, and that's where we're seeing it. So we're not, out of that seller's market yet. So we'll kind of talk about that. We'll kind of tease my here, but we'll talk about that next time. But, just keeping in mind that it's still a good time to buy. It's still a good time to sell.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful. Well, y'all, you always have such great advice. And like you said, making it stress-free, making it easy to understand. Because, I'm sure, especially first-time home buyers, it can seem a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
And that's why we like to just give them information. I made a joke one time to past clients that I'm like the TMI real estate agent. I'm like, not a gross way, but just like I feel like I give people the information. Yes. Sometimes they're like, okay, hold on. But I want them to be informed. I want them to be educated. Because they're adults. They're buying this stuff. You're making the decision for your family. I want that to be something that you feel empowered to do.
I love that. You need to put that on your business card. TMI.
TMI.
I could come up with something for that.
For sure.
We could really have some fun with that one. That might be another.
Right.
Another one. Another maybe a couple hours into happy hour.
Right.
After a few bottles, we'll maybe talk about that.
There you go. Wonderful. Well, okay. So if people want to talk to y'all, if they want that TMI, how do they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Well, you got our website right there, Hambright-team.com. It's a great website. Has all our contact information right there. You can make a portal. You can search for homes. A lot of really cool stuff there. Obviously, we're very active on social media, so you can find us there. And then, obviously, our cell phones, we're always by them. You can call us, text anytime. Yep.
I was about to say, they have them, they have them here with them.
Yep. 100%. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming in and yet once again and educating us. Do we want to talk about what's next? You gave a little teaser.
Yes. So we're just going to kind of catch up. So we have been talking the past few months about the buy side. So we want to tie back into how this side of everything works with you're selling your home.
Got it.
So to have the background of what's going on there. So we'll catch that up on the sell next month.
Yes, perfect. So make sure you join us for next time for Happy Hour with the Hambrights. Until then, you have any final thoughts or messages?
Give us a call. We're here to help you guys stay nice and cool.
Yes, try to at least.
Yes, try to stay in the air conditioning.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, guys, thanks again so much. And thank you all for watching. We will see you next time.
Bye.